drawing course looks at the possibilities with pen and ink.
When in Rome, as they say. Except I'm not in Rome. I'm in the straw market in Nassau. And June and I today are going to show you pen and ink work, pen and wash. And I'm going to do this stall here, but not from this point. I've got a higher point that I'm going to do it from because it's got that nice feeling about it. But while I get set up, why don't you have a look around? There are two ways of working pen and wash. One is to do the watercolour first, and then, when it's dry, of course, add pen over the top. The other way is to do pen first, and then colour over the top when the pen is dry. That's the way June's going to work later on. But this way, the watercolour first, I've actually drawn it very, very freely, very freely. You can see there's nothing really detailed about it, but I wanted to do this because there's so much colour in this that I want to get a rough idea of where the watercolour is going to go. So the watercolour is going to be done very freely. Incidentally, I'm working on cartridge paper, but the watercolour is free because I want to make it more detailed when I put the pen on. And there's a pink top along here. Now, you'll notice that I'm going to really sort of let the brush float around. Oh, it's a bit bright, the sun. Actually, the sun is just coming in to the picture now, which is very nice. We've got some pink down here. I'm leaving the white shirts, obviously. I'm only painting the colours that are there. That's a dark red, so I'll put the pink on at the moment, just go a bit around there. It is a sketch, and I want to sort of finish it off very freely. The main colour now is the straw. Now, some of this, of course, is still wet, so you've got to be reasonably careful. But if it runs, don't worry, because remember, we're doing pen and wash. Therefore, the pen will pick out all the shapes. And if the paint runs, it doesn't matter at all. Some of the areas you want to keep definite, but I hope this is a good straw colour. Yes, I think it looks all right. I'm going to mix some green for the leaves, and I'm going to use Hooker's number 1 and a little bit of cadmium yellow. Now, I want it quite watery, so I'm looking at them. That's the sort of bright part of the leaves that are catching the sun. And I can always add some darker if I want later on. So, here we go. I'm going to start at the top and just do nice, easy strokes. The ones near the edge where they're making a shape over the background, I want to do as single leaves almost, because they're very important to get the shape of leaves coming and hanging over. And now I want to put some shadow on this area in here where it's all gone very dark. I'm mixing ultramarine and crimson. Oh, it's a lot of crimson, never mind, more ultramarine, and yellow ochre. Now, it is really dark in there, and perhaps I might go a little lighter than it is at this stage. Oh, one thing I've got to be careful of are these leaves. Have them running in. So off we go. Now remember, over everything we've done, and cut up into the... Oh, now this I'm going to cheat and just go round it. Oh, hold your breath. Just round. That's it, that's left that one there. Oh, I've put too much yellow ochre in this. I've just added a bit more yellow ochre and too much has gone in. So I'm having to add a few more colours. Right, off we go. Only I don't want this to dry, although remember, by putting pen over, I can still bring out what I want to bring out. Oh, look, that's it. Doesn't matter, don't worry. Let's see the shape of these. And I'm just leaving one or two little bits there. Over the stall there. And it starts to get a little bit of light in there. There's a little bit of shadow coming, light coming from the sun. Right, we'll let that dry and then I'll come back when it's dry, of course, and put the pen on top. The paint's dry now and I'm going to put the pen on it, or draw over with pen. And I'm going to use a pen that's got ink already in it. Normally, it's an artist pen, but normally what I've done in previous programmes, I've used a dipping pen, which simply means I'm dipping a pen nib, as it were, into a bottle of ink. Well, in sketching, I don't particularly like to carry a bottle of ink around with me, so this way, everything is fine and the ink is there. It does mean also that I'm not going to have to dip in every few minutes. Well, here we go. Let's start with the top and get that, establish that line. Now, the shirts, we've got this dark area here in between the shirts. So I'm just going to put that in. Notice how freely I'm be detailed about this. I think the next thing is to draw some of these shirts in. I remember that one, yes, with the... let me see what happens to them. Yeah, I see. Yeah, we've got some of them, we've got a little collar on there. I think I'll draw that side in, that post. Let's have a look at these people inside. I know there was someone up there. Now remember that these are going to be still blackened in when I darken everything up. So I'm sure that we need it darker, but while things are going, the pen is going sort of in a drawing position and not a filling in position. Simply, the movement of the pen is flowing. I'm going to carry on, and then I will decide whether or not, of course this lady's gone now, I might decide to just shade some areas in. It all depends what it looks like. You see, at the moment we've got shape and form with this figure here, and the person there, she had stripes on, if I remember rightly. Let's come over to this basket over here. The handles go up there, that's shaded. These baskets here have been moved since I drew them. Quite a few times they've been moved. They're in this position to start with. And some more. Another shape there. And another bit there. Then this cardboard box. And we're going over the leaves that we've drawn. There's a stem there, and leaves. Draw them not accurately, I'm not saying, but draw them as they are, and they seem to come out in these fan-shaped bunches. And that's what we must endeavour to do, and it gives the feeling of the leaf, and obviously of the tree. Right, well, I don't think I need to do any more on the leaves. I reckon that's it. I mean, it's a different way of working. It's nice pen and ink. You can really get freedom and excitement into it. And I'm happy with that. Anyway, let's go and see what June's doing.
As Alwyn said, there are two ways of doing pen and ink. You can either put the wash on first and then put the pen, or you can do what I'm going to do. I'm going to work in pen and then put the wash on afterwards. And I'm working in Ibrex board, which is a hard, smooth surface, and it's rather nice to work on. I'm going to do this rather nice lady sitting here doing some raffia work, which is very typical of the straw market in which I'm sitting. I think I'll start with her. I have to be careful I don't do it too big, because I do tend to, when I'm doing something up close, I do tend to do it larger, which seems to be one of my sort of things. Oh, she just turned around beautifully then. And with the pen, the idea is to keep it working so that you get that nice sort of free feel about it. She's doing a raffia bag, I think, at the moment, which is rather nice. It's it looks as though it's the changing of the guards. There's a lovely big hat there. It's a job to always tell what they are when people keep moving in front of it, but the idea is to do what you can see. And when you put the colour on, of course, it all comes together. Look, there's another hat there, which is rather a nice big hat. I'm not quite sure what's going on behind me, but it's a very, very rattly sort of noise. I can carry on with her now. We've got the frilly apron. She's got a skirt that's coming down there, and she's got her bags underneath. So her feet are sort of holding her bags together. I've sketched her in pen and ink, and I'm now going to put some colour on. Whoops, it's rather wet. Of course, I forgot, with this Ibrex board, it's absolutely gorgeous, but it runs quite a lot, so you've got to be prepared for it. Get the dark in behind these rather nice hats. Let me think, there's a few, get railing down there, one there, and I'll do the lady. I'll put a little bit more red in for her because I think that colour's just a little bit blue. That looks a better colour. Oh, still needs a little bit more red in it. Actually, I should have kept some of the blue for her hair, because her hair really is very, very dark. She's got beautiful colour hair. Good fun doing it whichever way you do it. It's rather nice working with pen and ink. Put a touch more blue in and then do her hair in. If it runs, it doesn't really matter. She's got a lovely shape hairstyle, actually. Pity she wasn't sideways, because it was a really lovely sculptured shape. I must remember to leave some of the nice, some spaces to put all these gorgeous colours in. But if you get a general straw hat colour and leave a few gaps, otherwise you'll find that you haven't got any area to get some lovely bright colours in. Put a little bit of yellow in it, I think. brighten it up beautifully. But of course you have to be careful that the colour of her top's not going to mix into her skin. I think I'll just put a bit of ground colour on it, and then I'll put the colours in the hat, but I might let it dry before I do the hats because they're all going to run together otherwise. See her feet, the colours have run together a bit, but it doesn't really matter because the shadows and the pen and ink you're doing and everything else brings that all together. I'm going to let it dry now before I put some more touches on it. The paint's dry now, so I'm going to put in a few brighter colours before I actually put shadows in. I think her top is not quite bright enough because she's got a really vivid top on. Mind you, I quite like it, the other colour. On second thoughts, I might fade it off a little bit. Don't want it too bright. And I'm going to put a little bit more goldy colour on there. Oh, that's not quite goldy enough. Because that's just a little bit bluey colour. A little bit too blue. Instead of this lovely golden colour. Oh, there's an arm under there. And I'm going to put some bright colours, splodges of colour on the embroidery. I mean, these have got sort of meant to be bright turquoises. And you've got bright sort of squiggly bits, so I should just do those to give it a look of the embroidery. Don't put too many blobs of colour all over. It doesn't always pay to put every bit of colour on because it begins to look very dotty. I had decided to put shadows on it, but I think I'll just leave it as it is because I'm very happy with it. It's a nice sketch. She's got a nice bright colour top which brings it out, and there's a suggestion of hats. So I'm going to leave it like that. These wood carvers make a lovely 3-minute sketch subject. Again, I'm using Ibrex board with a pen, so I'm going to have a go in doing it in 3 minutes. I'm quite close, so it's quite tricky doing it this close. Thing is to get the shape of the head. And keep your pen moving, because after all, we are doing it in 3 minutes. I'm going to shade the whole of the face in because it is in shadow anyway. And he's got this big, the main thing of course is the arms, because after all he is a wood carver. So, and he's got these lovely big hands. And that one there, he's got the chisel and the hammer. So I've got to do that in it. That's, fill that in because that's his hammer that he's actually carving with. I'll fill that, and he's got the chisel there, and there's stripes across his shirt. That's still his shirt. He's sitting on a bench astride it with the carving in between his legs. It's a carving, I think, of a face at the top, but it's a job to see and something with teeth in it. And this is the bench that he sat on. And his leg comes round and it's on a, what's the name, on a stand underneath. So I'll fill that in so you know that's his feet. There. Mustn't fill the carving in. You've got it round there. That's his foot. Oh, got to fill his arms in, of course. Get that lovely colour, lovely filled in hand. Well, I think that's actually less than 3 minutes, but I can't fiddle with it anymore. I've done as much as I want to do, and I'm very happy with it.
We've just come back from the straw market, and I've decided to do my new hat as a 3-minute sketch. Now, here we go. I'm drawing the crown first. It's not as round as you think. It goes up there and round, tipped quite a lot, and then there's this lump in the middle. Got to watch this. Remember, I'm doing a 3-minute and I can't fiddle. So let's put that down there, and then I want to get the band in. Goes round the corner and round there, and then this is very important, of course. The actual rim or the brim of the hat, it sort of goes down and comes up, cocks up